The way it's described, and rightly so, in the Good Practice Guide, is that increasingly the day-to-day responsibility for the processes, such as software development, testing of software, the operation of systems, and that whole eQMS area of incident management, problem management at the technical level, etc., that is being handed over to the service provider and managed and controlled through appropriate agreements, contracts, SLAs, etc. And very importantly, through a defined and agreed communication process. So there's information that the service provider needs to get from the regulated company in order for that to work. Some as and when, and some regularly. And conversely, there's information and communication that needs to come from the service provider to the regulated company. So things like the equivalent of release notes, the equivalent of incident management information, if relevant, problem management, its outcomes, any risks, how technology, underlying technology may be changing, and also information on performance and everything like that. So we put a contract framework in place that defines what communication needs to go both ways. So an awful lot of the day-to-day responsibility for the, let's say, IT type activities will be with the service provider, where the regulated company is more involved in assessing and selecting and managing the supplier at a higher governance level, and also it's to do with their content and their business processes and their people, because they've got to supply the trained people who understand the processes and know how to put the right content in. So those are more the responsibilities of the regulated company. But in the final analysis, the regulatory accountability lies with the regulated company. And I think this difference between the day-to-day responsibility and the final accountability needs to be very, very clear. The buck definitely stops there, but most of the work is done here. And if that distinction isn't understood, then that can cause worry from a regulatory perspective. If it's not done properly, then they're right to be worried, because they're saying, well, it's your accountability, but you're handing all this off to a supplier, and you've really got no idea what they're doing, and you're not telling them what your expectations are with regard to some things that are very important from a regulatory perspective. So that relationship's got to be very clear with the accountability, but the main management of the tasks performed by, let's face it, the subject matter experts that know how to do it. There's no point interfering with the quality system of a good supplier. They're the best organisation to be able to build that up and maintain it from day to day.